If she gave herself to him within hours, but made you wait for months, it was never about timing. It wasn't about respect, or values, or boundaries. It was about how she saw you. The moment she met you, you didn't lose because you lacked value. You lost because she could read you like a script. There was no mystery, no tension, no spark. She didn't need to think about it. She felt it immediately. And that feeling, it put you in a box, fast. The harsh truth. You were never in the category you thought you were. Not because you said the wrong thing, but because your energy told her everything, before your words had a chance to. You walked in hoping to impress. He walked in with nothing to prove. And that contrast? She felt it. This isn't about blaming her. It's about facing what no one told you. You're not here to feel better. You're here to wake up. And after this, you'll never see rejection the same way again. Not as a loss, but as a signal that something in you must shift if you ever want to be seen differently. Let's keep going. Number 1. The unspoken rule. She doesn't need 3 dates to know who you are. She doesn't need candlelit dinners or deep talks under the stars. She sees you before you say a single word, not with her eyes, but with her instinct. Your presence tells her everything. Your energy hands her the full script, and in less than 10 seconds, you've already been sorted. Not fairly, not consciously, but instantly. There are only 3 boxes. First, the man she sleeps with. When she craves a rush, a thrill, something raw. Second, the provider. The one she leans on for security, validation, comfort. Third, the friend. Harmless, soft, safe, but never touched. And here's the part most men never get. You don't climb your way up. You don't move boxes by trying harder. She doesn't reassign you just because you waited, paid, or stayed. Once she places you, you become the background. Polite, predictable, forgettable. You thought effort would change her mind. It doesn't. Because this isn't about actions. It's about perception. And perception is fast. She decided before the conversation even began. Now the only question is, which box were you in? Number 2. The 3 male categories. There are 3 roles a man can play in her story, and only one of them leads to passion. Let's break them down. The first is the wild card. He's bold, unpredictable, and doesn't play safe. He doesn't flatter. He teases. He doesn't seek approval. He stirs emotion. He walks into her life like a spark, and suddenly she's wide awake. He makes her feel something primal, and when it feels that real, she doesn't wait. The second is the stable one. He's solid, kind, predictable. She might imagine a future with him, but never a night she can't forget. She tells her friends, he's sweet, but her body never aches for him. She delays the intimacy, not because she's being careful, but because there's no urgency. And the third is the emotional mule. He listens, he supports, he gives endlessly, he pays, he waits, he hopes, but what he gets in return is not hunger, just hugs, not craving, just comfort. He becomes her diary, but never her desire, and if you've ever found yourself holding her tears while she runs to someone else, you now understand the role you've unknowingly accepted. There are 3 types. The question is, which one have you been? Number 3, sexual chemistry versus emotional safety. Lust doesn't wait. It doesn't need logic. It doesn't ask for permission. If she feels it, she moves. If she doesn't, no list of good deeds will change her mind. The man she sleeps with quickly, he didn't ask, he didn't prove, he didn't earn. He entered with a quiet pull, a tension in his presence. That made her body say yes, before her thoughts caught up. You, on the other hand, showed up safe, emotionally available, kind. She smiled. She thanked you, but she didn't feel it. Because safety without spark is comfort dash, not craving. And you wonder why nothing ever happened. You were doing everything right. You listened, you cared, you stayed. But the truth? You never touched the part of her that needed to be awakened. Because desire isn't built like trust. It's not a slow burn. It's a flash. It doesn't grow. It ignites. And if that ignition doesn't happen early, you'll spend months chasing something that was never there. Not because you're not enough, but because her body never flinched. When you walked in, that's the part they never tell you, but now you know. Number 4, why the nice guy is used, ignored, and left dry. The nice guy doesn't fail because he's good. He fails because he's desperate. He gives what no one asked for, buys gifts to earn emotion, texts first, texts again, then resents her when she stays silent. But she never asked. She didn't reject kindness. She rejected the pressure behind it. It wasn't generosity. It was a plea. You weren't used. You were dismissed. But you kept showing up, kept offering. So she took and told herself, he's just a friend. But friends don't pay rent. Friends don't obsess over stories. Friends don't wait months in silence, hoping to be seen. You weren't her friend. You were her cushion, her fallback, her emotional safety net. A man she could lean on, but never lean into. And she never respected that. Not because you were weak, but because you gave yourself, without being asked. Not once, but again and again. That's not love. That's sacrifice without return. And deep down, you knew it. Number 5, the psychology of female filtering. You think it's about money, or height, or sending the perfect message. But she doesn't remember your car, your texts, or how much you make. She remembers how you made her feel. The ones she chooses quickly don't always look better. They just leave more of a mark. They carry tension in their voice. They speak with pause. They move like they've got nothing to prove. It unsettles her. And that's what pulls her in. Because mystery creates friction. Friction creates curiosity. And curiosity breaks her logic. You're talking about goals. He's leaning in, saying nothing, and she feels it. Not in her head, but in her spine. Number 6. How money, texting, and compliments work against you. If she isn't drawn to you, stop trying to win her over. The more you give, the less she feels. A compliment too soon. She rolls her eyes. Pay too early, you become her provider. Text her non-stop. You've just made her the center of a life she hasn't earned a place in. You believe generosity builds attraction. It doesn't. It only amplifies what's already there. Without desire, your kindness feels like a trade. And she doesn't sleep with trade-offs. She sleeps with risks. She gives herself to the man who feels unpredictable, not the one who makes sense. You're not losing because you're bad. You're losing because you're calculated, predictable. She doesn't want to be bought. She wants to be moved. And that doesn't happen when everything about you screams safe. Number 7. Stoic seduction. The art of flirting without needing to. Flirting isn't about being funny. It's not about smooth lines or clever words. It's energy. A calm presence with a spark of play. Speak slowly. Look her in the eye. Say less. Pause more. You're not flirting to win. You're observing, reading her rhythm. You're not chasing a reaction. You're creating tension. If she leans in, you reward her with warmth. If she steps back, you fade, without resistance. No drama, no proving. You don't shout your value. You make her curious. And when she can't decode you, her mind spins. Her body tunes in. Because mystery makes people feel, and desire isn't logical. It's born in the unknown. Number 8. The energy first rule. Spark her curiosity. Before you spend your energy, never give your time to someone who hasn't leaned in first. Attraction isn't built by investing. It's built by impact. Let her feel your presence. Before you offer your attention, let her want you. Before you make a move, let her show interest. Before you open your wallet, your time, or your heart. You're not here to audition. You're not trying to be picked. You are the prize. Act like it. Stop chasing connection. Start becoming the gravity. You weren't rejected because you lacked value. You were rejected because your energy never stirred her. She slept with him because he didn't push, didn't beg, didn't sell himself. He simply existed, deep, deep, quiet, and unfazed, and she collapsed into his presence, because his frame was stronger than hers. You thought effort would make her choose you, but it was never about effort. It was about frequency. You've been broadcasting need. He broadcast stillness, and that's the law. Change your energy. And her response follows. No strategy will override this. No script will save you. Stop pursuing women who labeled you before you spoke. Stop trying to impress those who already felt nothing. Instead, become a presence so complete that even your silence makes her wonder who you really are. She doesn't choose based on what you offer. She chooses based on how you make her feel. Make her feel or be forgotten. If this gave you clarity, tap that like button and subscribe to join the journey. Let me ask you, what part of this truth hit you the hardest? And what will you do with it now? Leave a comment. Let's build a generation of men who are unshakable. Not because they try, but because they embody presence. See you in the next video.